It's an honor and a privilege to be standing here today before Naperville's esteemed Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm Dalila Khan, an architect with extensive national experience designing houses of worship. I'm also a proud member of Naperville's Al-Andalus Mosque. As you know, our community has outgrown our existing mosque, although it's a building we're all very fond of, as modest and nondescript as it may be. The time has come for us to enter the next phase of our story, the proposed Al-Andalus Library and Community Center, a magnificent new complex we hope to build in the heart of downtown Naperville. Our dream resides at the much-beloved, though long-defunct, Old Nichols Library. We envision a full restoration of the original 1898 Old Nichols as a first-of-its-kind, community-wide library dedicated to the study of Islam and world religions. In addition, we'll tear down the library's annex and construct an entirely new one, a modern, eco-friendly, state-of-the-art prayer hall and community center, blending traditional Islamic design elements within a sleek, contemporary American aesthetic. It is neither imposing nor overwhelming. It is elegant and subtle. A handsome, forward-thinking, clean design that pays tribute to the past and projects confidence onto the future. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Dalila, darling, that was fabulous. Now, here's the scenario, people. Dalila has just introduced our project. The notoriously deadpan members of the Planning and Zoning Commission are beginning to warm up to her. Oh, what an impressive design. Brava. It blends in so seamlessly with its surroundings, beautiful and refined, yet so unobtrusive. Who knew that a woman in a headscarf could be so creative, so expressive? But it's still a Muslim mosque. So let's help a sister out and start channeling our inner white person. We'll pretend we're them. The floor is now open to questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we're immigrants. We know how to role play.
Right. Okay. Excuse me, Miss Dalala. Now, you know, I have nothing against Muslims. In fact, some of my best friends are Muslims. It's not about y'all being terrorists.
I think you mean terrorist sympathizers. It sounds more polite.
This isn't about religion. I'm simply concerned about traffic.
I share your concerns. We've done exhaustive studies on traffic flow and the estimated number of cars.
Of course, I'm not worried about them blowing us up. I'm worried about parking.
Thank you for bringing that up. Downtown Naperville has thousands of free parking spaces within blocks of our proposed masjid.
But what about garbage disposal?
Yeah. Do you Mohammedans even recycle?
The plans we've submitted are certifiably sustainable and eco-friendly. Ours will be the greenest building in all of DuPage County.
But it's the height, too.
I know. It's the setback.
The setback, yeah.
No, it's the building materials.
Exactly.
By golly, it's the color scheme.
An atrocious color scheme. And even worse, heaven help us, the landscaping.
Yes, way too much grass.
Are you folks doing all right? You seem confused.
Personally, I have been losing sleep worrying about their drainage plans.
Yuck, sewage, so filthy and smelly.
The real issue is overdevelopment and overcrowding.
Precisely. Do we really need another building in Naperville? I say return that patch of land to the buffalo.
And what's wrong with sitting in pews? They take up so much space, those Muslims, prostrating all over the floor.
It is true that the practices of Islamic worship require more square footage per person than
Now, I'm not a Freudian or anything, but I had a dream last night that I turned my TV onto the Scary Movie channel, and what was playing? The mosque that ate Naperville.
Oh my God. What do you think it meant?
It was definitely an omen.
Bad zoning karma.
Hey, you woman in burqa, what's the difference between a Muslim, an Arab, a terrorist, and a towelhead?
Excuse me?
It's those darn pejoratives. They keep evolving.
Is it true that Muslims broadcast their call to prayer 5 times a day from loudspeakers?
Why, that's noise pollution. You'll wake up the babies and frighten the elderly.
Rest assured, my good people, in a predominantly non-Muslim environment, like downtown Naperville, we would never broadcast our...
Pardon me, hillbilly, white trash woman with money.
Who, me?
Not a Southern accent, please.
Yes, you. Do you belong to a church
Well, of course.
in Naperville?
Well, yes.
By any chance, does your church ring bells on Sunday morning?
It does.
Well then, Friday noontime prayers will broadcast our call to prayer, but only at sound levels equal to your church bells, not a decibel higher.
But bells don't ring in Arabic.
Cut! Time out. I appreciate the coaching, my friends, but as white people, you're way over the top.
We're the warm and fuzzy white people, Dalila.
Slam dunk. Unanimous approval. Our proposal sailed right through planning and zoning. City council vote, here we come.
We're heading into the city council vote with a groundswell of public support. The coalition we're building is unbeatable.
They're extremely intelligent, my Muslim friends. And yet they have this naive, almost childlike belief that in the end, the American people will always do what's right. What America are they living in? I haven't found that place.
If a for-profit business were operating at Old Nichols, the city would be collecting property taxes and sales taxes. It's revenue we desperately need.
All that foot traffic on Friday afternoons? You know how those Muslim women love to shop. And it'll be a bonanza for restaurant owners. Friday afternoon halal lunch specials.
Just who's funding their mosque? Who's footing the bill? Any foreign governments? Any overseas organizations?
Frankly, I resent what's being implied here. We're supported by our local Muslim community 100%.
Never underestimate sentimental value. Almost every person in this town has memories of that library. Fond memories.
Growing up, my mom used to take us to Old Nichols every week for Storybook Saturday. She had a difficult life, my mom. But those Saturdays with her boys brought her tremendous joy. This mosque desecrates all of that.
This is my religion we're talking about, my spirituality, my relationship to God. A prayer hall has real meaning for real people. It's not some theory to be debated.
You know, it's all part of one big American story. Like, people used to get riled up about Catholic churches, Jewish synagogues, Mormon temples. First we hate you, then we give you a TV show, then you're fine.
A town hall meeting is a start. We make sure the right people attend, we manage the overall tone, we keep it positive, eyes on the prize, we come out sounding entirely reasonable, the other side sounds completely out of touch.
Personally, I'm a bit skeptical. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Town hall meetings in mosques are like matches and gasoline.
Their alleged community center will be a magnet for radicalization and extremism.
You want a Muslim extremist? I'm a Muslim extremist. Me. I'm an extremist for equality. I'm an extremist for feminism, for inclusion, for democracy, for art, poetry, literature. That's Muslim extremism.
I don't want a mosque in my downtown. Why? You really have to ask. Well, let's see. The World Trade Center, San Bernardino, Orlando, Boston, London, Paris, Madrid.
Yeah, man, I get it. You're afraid of terrorism. We all are. You think Muslims don't die in terrorist attacks? You think we have an advanced warning app on our cell phones?
Sure. There are things about Islam that make me uncomfortable. There are even things that frighten me, but I will not allow my irrational fears to obstruct people's fundamental rights.
I have every right to question Islam. Islam is anti-woman. It's anti-gay, anti-Jewish, anti-freedom. Why am I being forced to tolerate the intolerant?
When you indict Islam as patriarchal or anti-liberal, you throw Muslim feminists, Muslim queers, and Muslim progressives all under the bus.
We're always telling people what we're not. How about telling people what we are?
I'm Muslim because I believe in God's love, in His mercy and compassion, and in the written word of our Holy Quran.
I'm Muslim because I stand with the poor and the downtrodden.
I'm Muslim because I believe in righteousness.
I'm Muslim because I work for peace.
We enter the town hall with two great assets, logic and truth. Not to mention, we have God on our side.
Ladies and gentlemen, family members and friends, I'd like to welcome you all to the beautiful campus of North Central College for this evening's much anticipated town hall meeting. As many of you know, I'm Reverend Tina Calhoun, senior pastor of Trinity United Methodist Church and chairperson of Naperville's Interfaith Leadership Council. We're a dynamic coalition of Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Jews, and Sikhs united in our devotion to religious pluralism and interfaith cooperation. How wonderful it is to see so many old faces and new. Together, we represent the richness of Naperville's diversity, the Naperville mosaic, beautifully apropos of why we are here tonight, to discuss the proposed Al-Andalus Library and Community Center. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage my dear friend and colleague, Mr. Omar Kobani, chairman of the Al-Andalus Board of Directors.
Thank you, Reverend Calhoun. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
What a tremendous honor it is to be speaking to you all at tonight's historic gathering. If there's one thing that unites the Muslims of Naperville, it is our love for Naperville. For what is Al-Andalus Library and Community Center if not a love letter? Our way of giving back to the town that has given us everything. Opportunities, great schools, beautiful parks, a safe environment in which to raise our children, and the ability to live and flourish in peace and with dignity.
You don't look Muslim.
Neither do you. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Omar, why in God's name do you want to build downtown? Because building downtown is our way of demonstrating that our roots are here. Because downtown belongs to us all. Ladies and gentlemen, we are home. We are your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, and your classmates. And we call on all of you, especially our town's honorable city council, to help us be the active, visible, dynamic part of the city's downtown that we aim to be. Thank you.
Omar, you're an energizing spokesperson for this community. I want us to think of this town hall meeting as a living tribute to the First Amendment. Everyone here has a right to express their opinions and a responsibility to do so with courtesy and respect. Let us live up to the greatness of our community and pay homage to the promise of these United States. At this time, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Imam Yusuf Beg, spiritual leader of Naperville's Al-Andalus Mosque. Imam Yusuf is a cherished friend, colleague, and mentor to so many of us gathered here this evening. Please join me in welcoming the man I refer to as Naperville's Imam.
Thank you, Pastor Tina. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity of spirit, and your inspired leadership. We are blessed to be sharing this evening with you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Terrorist!
Who said that?
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. It is a gift being here with all of you this evening, a gift from God. I am Imam Yusuf Beg,
Invader!
of Naperville's Al-Andalus Mosque.
We love you, Imam Yusuf.
Preach, Brother Yusuf!
One question that inevitably gets asked of me is, what does Al-Andalus mean? Al-Andalus refers to a once great Muslim territory in the Iberian Peninsula, covering large parts of what is today Spain and Portugal. For Muslims, Al-Andalus evokes an era of profound scientific discovery and scholarly achievement, critical thinking and artistic accomplishment. Imagine a space that can recreate that glorious spirit right here in Naperville. The restoration of Old Nichols Library as a thriving, living library is deeply rooted in Islam. For us, it is an authentic exercise of our faith.
Islam's a cult.
Islam is an Abrahamic faith, just like Judaism and Christianity.
Who let these people in?
It's an open forum, Omar. Fringe elements come out of the woodwork.
Please, please. Without knowledge, without education, a Muslim is incomplete. I am a new American. I'm a naturalized American citizen.
Tell us what you do to infidels.
Show some respect.
Do not take their bait, Yusuf. Keep holding the moral high ground.
I'm an American by choice, and I choose to be an American Muslim because Islam is found in American institutions and the American way of life.
Remember 9/11?
If you can't control yourselves, I'll have security remove you from this hall. Do not push your luck.
I'm very much at home in America as a Muslim because the ideals that we have as Americans are the same ideals we have as Muslims. If you have concerns, if you have doubts, if you're simply seeking knowledge, please know that I am available to you here tonight or at any other time.
We don't want you here. Go back to Iran.
He's not from Iran. He's from Pakistan.
Go back to Pakistan.
How about you go back to the cave you crawled out of? All stay put here in Naperville and learn how to behave.
I am happy to come to your churches, to your schools, your synagogues, your social clubs, wherever you want me. You needn't be Muslim to think of me as your imam. I am here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Imam Yusuf, for your very eloquent and inspiring words. I want to apologize to you for all the hate speech you've just been subjected to. And I want to assure you that the few bad apples in this audience represent no one but themselves. I'd like to remind everyone that graciousness and civility are what characterize the people of Naperville. There is to be no name-calling, no outbursts,
That is unacceptable. We're a welcoming, tolerant community. Let's not betray our values any further. If we're to open the floor to questions and comments as originally planned, we'll need to follow basic rules of protocol. We're interested in hearing from those of you who have something constructive to say. Be sure to raise your hand and wait to be called on. Let's see. Yes, you.
I have no problem with what is being proposed here. I grew up with Muslims. Many of them are very fine people, wonderful people. But if we're talking about religious persecution, what about the persecution of Christians?
Oh, please.
I'm sorry. The vast majority of people in this world who are tortured and murdered for their religious beliefs are Christians, not Muslims. And I live in constant fear for my Christian family in Iraq.
I deeply appreciate your concern, sister. Solidarity with those who suffer, with those who are vulnerable, is our solemn duty. It is our Christian call to action.
Our Holy Quran tells us, whoever kills one man, it is as though he has killed all of mankind. Any Muslim that harms a Christian is violating the tenets of Islam.
It pains me that there are people in this town who'd rather scapegoat a defenseless population than stand on the right side of history. Who are we? And what have we become? I'm Japanese American. My community knows scapegoating. They know what it means to be labeled a national security threat. My American parents were incarcerated in American concentration camps, not because of any crime they committed or any act of disloyalty, but because of state-sanctioned racism. That's right. Hateful, cruel racism. The U.S. Constitution did not apply to us. Our U.S. citizenship was erased. We were Japs.
Bad call. It's not the same thing.
Serious? That's your response?
I want every Muslim in this room to know that the Japanese American community has your back.
I'm deeply moved by your testimony and enormously grateful for your solidarity. Let us resolve to forever have each other's backs.
Amen, brother. If one of us is oppressed, we are all oppressed.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Not Yes, you please.
Mom Yusuf. Before building a new mosque, how about addressing the problems in your existing mosque? The one you've supposedly outgrown? I'm Muslim. I've been to Al-Andalus, and I ran the hell out of there. Women can't lead prayers. Men and women can't even pray together. We're stuck in the back behind a partition. It's degrading. Would you want that for your daughters? For me, walking into Al-Andalus means entering a space in which my body is a provocation. My hair is a provocation. My voice is a provocation. My very presence distracts men from their relationship to God. I want a feminist, egalitarian masjid.
Young lady, I hear you. I can see that you've been hurt. I invite you to come back to Al-Andalus. Now, can we do better? Absolutely. Communities evolve. Evolve with us.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
What are you going to say?
I'm going up.
Okay, good luck.
Excuse me. Sir? What are you doing? Can't you see we're having a town hall meeting? You can't just...
This is a public forum, and I am entitled to speak. I'm here to address the town hall.
That's not how it works. We're following basic rules of order. You raise your hand and wait to be called.
I notice you're only calling on women. And such exotic women to boot. Not terribly representative of this town.
Exotic? Is he for real?
This is America. You yourself said we have a First Amendment. I refuse to be silenced.
Turn around and get back to your seat.
You're not from this country. Do not tell me what to do.
I'm telling you, leave the stage now.
Throw the bum out.
I'm an American citizen. We are on American soil.
Yeah, I want to hear this man.
You want to settle this outside, you little punk?
Omar, get a grip, would you? We don't need an angry Muslim man stoking their worst stereotypes.
He called me a foreigner.
I have a right to be heard, Pastor Calhoun. This isn't about you playing favorites. That needs to stop.
We'll let him ramble for a minute or two. He'll say his piece, then I'll call on someone more palatable.
A white man seizes the stage and we suspend all the rules?
Better we be accused of censorship.
Friends, my name is Jeffrey Baker. I'm an attorney here in DuPage County. I've dedicated my law practice to defending American freedoms and American values. America is a sacred trust.
God bless America.
Land of the free. Unless we wake up and start implementing plans to save our civilization, you had better believe the Muslims are going to destroy us. Can't you see that the Muslims here in Naperville are laughing at us? This old Nichols Library is nothing but a victory mosque for them. A much beloved local landmark that they are trying to conquer for Islam.
Where's your white hood?
I think you liberals need new talking points. It's getting old. So while they're here petitioning to build a mosque, we can't build a church or a synagogue in Saudi Arabia. It's against the law. In fact, you can be arrested for bringing a Bible into the country.
You want us to become Saudi Arabia?
I wonder how Pastor Calhoun would fare in Saudi Arabia as a Christian and as a woman.
I don't fall for that ruse. My ministry is here.
Smart choice. Meanwhile, we Americans, we're so naive, so gullible, so well-intentioned that we are giving these radical Islamists a public forum to convince us how wonderful it is to plop a great big mosque smack dab in the center of our town.
Islamophobe?
You're goddamn right I'm afraid of Islam. Look at their history. First, it was the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, turned into a mosque. Then it was the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople, turned into a mosque. Then it was the birthplace of Lord Rama in northern India, turned into a mosque. Are we detecting a pattern here?
Yeah, that you suck.
Let's not stoop to his level.
But hey, don't take my word for it. Ask the Coptic Christians of Egypt about Muslims. Ask them about the hundreds of Coptic churches burned to the ground by Muslim mobs. Ask the Jews about Muslims.
This is incitement, folks. Do not be fooled by this man. He's trying to pit us against each other.
I'm not the one who picked this fight. You are. In the late 1940s, there were 1 million Jews living in the Islamic world. Today, there are less than 15,000. 1 million to less than 15,000? How does that happen?
They moved to Israel.
Ask the cities suffering genocide in Iraq as I speak. They know Muslims.
Ask me about the Crusades. Ask me about the Spanish Inquisition.
Ask me about Palestine, Bosnia, Iraq, Libya.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our very own historians in the house.
Man's clearly not well. He needs help.
Pot calling the kettle black, perhaps. Good people of Naperville, you think it can't happen here? It's too frightening to even contemplate. You'd rather not listen to what I have to say? Fine. But ask the victims of Islam.
Funny, I'm more scared of Christians.
I bet you don't utter a peep when the Muslims honor kill their daughters and gay sons.
Does he not see there are Muslims in this room? He's speaking as if we're invisible, as if we don't have feelings. Hello, flesh and blood human being here. Can you see me?
Sadly, I see you perfectly well.
That's a man of God you're talking to.
You do realize you're risking disbarment. I know people at the Illinois State Bar Association.
Really? So do I. Somebody, please, prove me wrong. Muslims demand special rights in Western countries while they actively deny people rights in their own countries.
Special rights? We ask for equal rights, you hate monger.
Hate monger. Ask the Muslims about hate. They wrote the book on it. It's called the Quran.
He's blaspheming the word of God. Someone stop him.
Okay, Mr. Baker. This needs to stop. Come on. You've had your say. You've been heard. We all get the point.
Do you, Pastor? I'm not so sure. They come off all charming and well-spoken. Imam Yusuf swoons over the U.S. Constitution. He and Omar Kabani adore our Bill of Rights. Can you blame them? What other nation grants free speech and assembly to its sworn enemies?
Have you even read the U.S. Constitution? I'm happy to buy you a copy.
Are you threatening me with bodily harm again? You need to stand back.
Wow. What a coward you are. Wrap it up.
This meeting is officially over.
And then, on the rare occasion, we take notice and we stand up for our civilization. The Muslims play the victim card, play the race card. They play the America owes us card. When they're finished, we're so browbeaten that we just roll over and play dead. Where's our resolve, people? Our will to survive?
Muslims to Guantanamo. Lock them up.
Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up.
Exactly, my friends. Before it's too late. They want to build mosques? Go ahead. Be my guest. Build all the mosques you want. In Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, build a mosque at every corner of every intersection of every village, town, and city you can find. But not in my country, and certainly not in my hometown.
USA! 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 Justice! 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 Justice!
Justice! Justice! Justice!
Justice prevails and the truth always wins. Oh, America, how you lie.
How do I talk to my children about what just happened? How do I tell them, put on a brave face, when I'm having a hard time leaving the house?
Jeffrey Baker and his goons managed to sow enough doubt in enough people's minds. Maybe my Muslim neighbors do want to kill me after all. It's an ugly strategy and it works.
Jeffrey Baker wasn't appealing to our base fears. He was appealing to our intelligence.
Why is anyone surprised? The DNA of this community is racism. Let's not kid ourselves about the ugly history of DuPage County. Naperville is what it is because of white flight from Chicago.
Is it any wonder so many people have lost faith in our system? This isn't democracy. This is spite.
We're not some football you can just kick around. We're tax-paying, law-abiding, contributing members of society. This is our community too.
The Muslims overreached. Why Old Nichols? Why downtown? Build in an industrial zone or a warehouse district or a cornfield. Had they proposed a less high-profile location, no one would have cared. Or at least not like this.
They repeat these things as if we have no say. Whites are becoming the minority. Spanish is overtaking English. Islam is the fastest growing religion. If Al-Andalus proves anything, it's that we, real Americans, we do control our destiny. Thank you very much.
If I've learned one thing about zoning and development, it's that emotions rule the roost. If we had proposed to build on the moon, they'd still be objecting.
Anti-mosque arguments have legs. At the end of the day, the city council listened to the voice of the people. It's how democracy works. Not that I endorse mob rule.
This was a referendum on Muslims, on their religion, on their American citizenship, on their very humanity. And the Naperville City Council voted no.
We've been reminded of just how powerless we are. They not only took away our dream of Al-Andalus, they took away our dignity.
It's shameful. We are inflicting so much hurt and so much pain on a whole segment of our community. For what? They're devastated, my Muslim friends. I can barely look them in the eye.
I'm an ally, through and through. But I'm sorry, this campaign was not without flaws. A lot of the immigrant Muslims made me feel like I was less valued than their white allies. A second-class ally. Okay, I said it.
The lies that were told about us got repeated as facts. We didn't have the time, the resources, the platform, or the mental stamina to counter it all.
Not in my backyard. I own my home just 3 blocks from Old Nichols. It's my investment. It's my safety net. It's my children's inheritance. Property values matter.
We're the grassroots resistance, the shock troops, the infantry brigade. We're the real men in this saga because our cause is honorable. We're going to stop the Islamification of America.
I can forgive all the nasty stares, the suspicious looks, the vile comments now being directed at me. It's the price of being visibly Muslim, I suppose. But it's the taunts my children are enduring at school that break my heart.
Imagine trying to raise your children to feel good about their religion, their faith, to be proud of their heritage in a community, no, in a country that tells us unequivocally that we are despised. It's not easy.
We need to sue the city of Naperville. If we can prove that there were city councilmen who acted out of anti-Muslim animus, then we can haul their asses to court.
I know this town. Most Naperville residents are fair-minded, big-hearted, well-meaning people. We're the majority. What happened with Al-Andalus, that's not who we are. We're gonna get this right.
We're in a clash of civilizations here. This battle will be fought on multiple fronts for decades to come. Someday, you'll be thanking me. Even if you can't see it now, I'm the hero of this story.
No way are we allowing haters to define who we are. No way are we ceding our testimony to those who wish us harm.
No one has license to bully us or deny us our rights. Enough of licking our wounds already. We need to regroup. We need to be steadfast.
It's our story and we get to tell it. We own our narrative.
We'll build an even stronger coalition, one that's nimble and quick to respond, with facts.
We have more power than any of us even know.
We're going to demand a revote.
I say we march on City Hall.
And Al-Andalus is going to win. American Muslims under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Islamophobes have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Islamophobes have got to go!
2, 4, 6, 8. No more anti-Muslim hate.
2, 4, 6, 8. No more anti-Muslim hate. Religions united cannot be defeated. Religions united cannot be defeated.
Whose mosque?
Our mosque.
Whose mosque?
Our mosque. Say it loud, say it proud. We are all Muslims now. Say it loud, say it proud. We are all Muslims now.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
What do we want?
Al-Andalus.